Hello, welcome to the play ratings. Today, Lou and I will be discussing the 1-1 draw with Forest at Selhurst Park in front of a excited fan base as the so-called El Clasico took place. Please feel free to like, subscribe. Love your comments that you're making. We appreciate all the feedback. We try to read them and comment back. So if you want to, please do after you watch. And also, we're on the road to 10,000 subs. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your mates to subscribe. We appreciate it. Lou, you didn't go to the game, I know. So, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, didn't go to the game. It was nice to watch it on TV. It's definitely completely different watching it on TV. Yeah, I thought we played really well for the first 50 minutes. One lapse in concentration, let them in.
Right.
I haven't watched it back. I can't really pinpoint whose fault it was. I don't. Maybe it was I can't really remember the sequence before and Doyle got the ball. Um, but obviously it looks bad on Mitchell because he's been able to get goal side, but then our line isn't straight, so he's been able to beat the offside trap. But yeah, I thought it was a really good performance. Really happy with Essay's cameo appearance because we spoke about it on the preview that maybe him not getting brought on against Fredrikstad, it was all about the reaction of how he would react in training,
Right.
how he would react when he got his chance, and he looked like a guy who was really trying to impress the manager. And I saw some encouraging things from Glasner when he was pressing and winning free kicks. Glasner looked like he was happy with him. So I think it's a great point. Again, it's just like a fight to get to the end of the transfer window because as I was thinking about it, if we get the players we need in, it gives them 2 weeks on the training pitch, with the next game being Sunderland at home.
It's national break.
So I think it's such a pivotal point in our season, getting through to the group stages, getting the players in, and then Glasner having 2 weeks on the pitch to like just set the standard and let's get on with the season.
Yeah, I'll pop up the lineup. So put up. So Forest set up in a 4-2-3-1. Gibbs White was given free reign to kind of go wherever he wanted. What I found interesting was Milinkovic and Murillo really tried to be very physical with Mateta, but also Ndoye started on the right. But the switch at halftime on the left was, to me, the biggest pivotal thing for them because he played that ball to Mitchell. Past Mitchell to Hudson-Odoi. Now, what I would say is that it was a great pass. The sequence of play really was the ball was kind of bubbling around in midfield. Wharton kind of got beat, and then Gahey gets beat on the pass also. But I'm not gonna lie. I think the biggest mistake is not Mitchell's or Gahey or even Wharton. It's the goalkeeper. So I gave him a CGM 6.5. You go first. Your thoughts on Henderson? I'll be brief on mine for sure.
He didn't really have much to do, if I'm being honest. It's hard because with the goal, it's on Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi should score, but the finish is weak. It's weak. It's at the near post, and I think normally Henderson's quite good in those 1v1 situations. But do you know what it was? What I thought? He thought Hudson-Odoi would hit it cleaner than he did, and like the bad finish ended up helping Hudson-Odoi. When I saw it from the angle camera behind, he kind of like was a bit of a mishit stroke on the floor and it's kind of just clipped his leg and gone in. It's hard to say he should have done better, but I think if he saves that and we go on to win the game, then you're looking at a 9 out of 10 because he's basically helped win us the 3 points there. That's what you want from your goalkeeper, but it's probably being a bit harsh saying he should have saved it, but we could say he could have done a little bit more.
So I disagree slightly. He only faced that one shot all game. He faced another shot that he made a really great save on from Wood, but that was ruled offside anyway. They said VAR, it might have been offside. That was a really good save. But for me, if you only have to face one shot and it's that kind of a shot, it's not like a worldie. I think he should make the save. We could go back and forth on that, but he didn't have much to do. Again, he had 25 out of 37 on his passing, which is very good for him. Long balls were poor, 1 for 13. Most of them, again, I mentioned before, to Mateta, who got really physically. It was both of them. Linkovic and Murillo were both giving him a hard time. I just think if you face one shot of the game, and it's that kind of shot, you should make the save. But again, I'm not going to be overly harsh. He's been great for us. But I think in that one, I think he'd admit he should make that save. But we can go back and forth. Next, Danny Munoz. We both gave him an A. I thought he played really well. Again, the switch of Ndoye and Hudson-Odoi was interesting. I think it was more because in the first half, we'll get to him, Mitchell really gave Ndoye a hard time. I thought they probably thought they can get. Sorry, Munoz gave in. No, I was right. It was right. It was right. Was giving him a hard time. I think they felt that the switch would work, and it did work because even though it wasn't great, the pass was really good. He had a great assist on the goal. That assist reminded me of the goal against Villa. The fourth goal that Saul scored against Villa in the 4-1 game, and I was at. You were at also. A really good assist by Munoz. I thought he played really, really well going forward. He wasn't as involved going forward, funny enough, as Mitchell was. But I thought he did a really good job both defensively on, again, Hudson-Odoi in the first half and Ndoye second half. But your thoughts on Danny Munoz?
Yeah, I think you covered it mostly there. That cutback cross is kind of becoming that cash money, isn't it? It's the same. Yeah. It's the same as the FA Cup final goal.
Yeah.
There's been a few of those type goals. He's just brilliant from Munoz again. I think Sarr could have helped him out a little bit better. I think if their link-up play, apart from the goal, wasn't as good yesterday.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter because when it did matter, we scored. But if we're talking about winning the game, it was maybe that little bit more threat throughout the game that we needed from both of them. But he was great defensively. And let's be honest, they've come up against Ndoye, Hudson-Odoi, McAtee, and who was the other one? I can't pronounce his name. The one they got from Kent, from Rennes.
Calimundo.
Yeah. Like, if we've been on, they threw everything at us.
They did.
They threw everything at us.
Yeah. Real quick, also 3 and 4 accurate crossing, 5 recoveries, 21-27 passing. So I thought again, Munoz had a good game. Ty Mitchell, 7.5 from me, 7.5 from you. I would go first. I thought he played really well. And I think that the benchmark for him was in the 3rd minute, he makes that great one-on-one tackle. Chris Wood's going through, much bigger player, and he makes a really good tackle. I thought going forward, he played really well. He set up a ball to Sarr, to set up Devaney on a cross. He was the out ball a lot, I thought, on that left side. He definitely missed Eze because, again, you can just tell, we'll get to Justin Devaney later on, that with Eze ahead of him, he knows he's got a player who'll get the ball, take him on, but with Devaney doesn't have that. He saw a lot of the ball in the first half. Got a weird yellow card for wasting time, which is so strange. Anthony Taylor is a clown.
He gave Sells a yellow card.
Yeah, exactly. Time wasting when you're losing 1-0. Very, very strange referee. Had some really good crosses. Again, he had a cross that Devaney had a header on in the second half. Created 2 chances, 24 out of 34 passing. 4 or 5 ground duels won, but he was beaten by Hudson-Odoi. But again, I will say again, I thought Ndoye's pass was perfect, and I thought
it was meant for Wood, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but it does. It's the same. It reminds me of the ball that was it? I can't remember. Hughes played that ball to Munoz and said it was meant for Mateta when he scored that goal. Yeah. Again, either way, it's a great ball. But I thought Munoz played really well. Mitchell played really well. Surprised people would think he didn't play well, but I thought he played really well. But your thoughts on? And again, he had to do that double switch, playing, one player one half, one player second half. It's nothing to do. So, but your thoughts on Mitchell?
Yeah, I definitely think I saw a few people saying Mitchell didn't have a good game. I don't really understand what game they're watching, and I think it's so easy to be like he let the guy in. I think it's a great run, first of all, from Hudson-Odoi, from out to in. It's if you're a young winger, and you should see sometimes you got to make a different movement, not just staying out wide. I think in the first half, Ndoye hugged the touchline because he's right-footed, and where Mitchell is left-footed, naturally a right winger is going to be further out than the touchline.
Exactly.
So the fact that he's recognized and his football IQ, he's turned and recognized Ndoye is going to play that ball, and he gambles and he makes that run. As much as Mitchell let him in, I think is a brilliant run. Honestly, I think it's.
I agree.
I think it's a very intelligent run. And obviously, even if the ball was meant for Wood, it's weighted to perfection and it's put in the right area. And that's what happens when you've got quality forwards on the pitch. That's what can happen. Other than that, I really think Mitchell missed Eze in the sense of when he gets that ball out wide left, he knows Eze is so comfortable on the ball with his back turn, he can play in. So there was many times where he didn't really want to play it to Devaney, and it ended up being not a pass to Devaney and not a strong enough pass to Mateta, and then it ended up in no man's land.
Yeah, nowhere.
Which kind of makes it look like he's having a bad game, but I don't think so. I just think we're just missing one of our key players, and that little diamond area that we play in, where has been Mark, Mitchell, and Eze, and we when you've got someone who's so comfortable on the ball, relaxed, that you can give it to and you can make a movement. Mitchell was probably giving it to Devaney, thinking, not wanting to commit forward too much just in case. Whereas whether it's Eze, you're like, well, this guy ain't really going to lose the ball, and if he does, you know, it's a rare occasion.
The mindset changes, the mindset.
Changes, obviously, his crossings, he hasn't got the best crossing, but there's been times where he's delivered beautiful crosses and people don't get onto the end of it. But yeah, I thought Ty was great. Like I said, I think he's got stronger because the way he shoved Wood off in that first half just showed his strength and his pace. You'll struggle to find a better 1v1 defender in the league.
I thought that play on Wood was brilliant. I mean, Wood's he's a unit, and I think Gahey would have been hard pressed to make that 1-on-1 tackle.
Yeah.
A smaller left back or wing back.
I think there's a clear gap in quality. Not clear, might sound harsh on Sosa, but there's no way Sosa's on Mitch's level. I don't think. I think Sosa in that game yesterday would struggle against Ndoye and those players.
Yeah, he's going to be a player you'll put in for horses for courses type thing. You gotta look at who's going against. And you're right. I don't defensively. Defensively, I think definitely Mitchell's got him. Going forward, I think he's put some good crosses in, but Mitchell's getting better going forward. And again, you're right. That whole link-up play is important.
Yeah. And I'm happy. There's a lot of times when Munoz or Mitchell overhit crosses, I like the fact that a lot of the time they end up getting on the other side. Yeah. So that's good. But yeah, I just think if we're talking, I think good teams are their base is their defensive structure, and when you've got someone like Mitchell, it's great stuff because you want your defenders to be able to defend first of all, and then progress further up the pitch.
Great. Let's go to Captain Mark Gahey. I gave him 8.5. When you go first on Mark Gahey's performance yesterday?
Listen, I don't even know what to say every time. This guy is just unbelievable. He builds up play so well. Again, I think he was missing Eze because he's confident enough to play that progressive pass forward to Eze, and he didn't have that out ball. I think teams that stop us from making that switch from Gahey to Munoz, they do well to do that. It's like they was letting us switch it to Mitchell, but they wasn't really letting us switch it to Munoz. I don't know if you noticed that too much.
Yeah.
Nico Williams was right up on Munoz. But Ola Aina kind of he wasn't really too fussed in Devaney and Mitchell. Seemed like they had a lot of space. But yeah, Gahey, unbelievable. Most touches. So sometimes he looks like our like, apart from Wharton, where everything builds up from.
Yeah. Like you said, most touches, 49 out of 60 passing. To me, the key play for me on him was he had the header end of the first half, back post, hit the post, that goes in, different game, obviously. And then he made a great play on Igor Jesus, 90th plus 2 minutes, 1v1. He gets a little deflection on that ball to hit the post. If Gahey doesn't make that tackle or attempted tackle, he probably scores that goal. So again, I thought he was very solid overall, Gahey. 1 out of 9 long balls. You're right. He wasn't able to make that switch. He tried, but it wasn't working. 3 clearances, 3 recovery, 2 out of 3 aerial duels, 1. But a very solid performance by Gahey yesterday. Again, Forest have a lot of options going forward, and when they switch it up, it becomes even harder. But I thought Gahey had a really good game. Next, one of his partners in the middle of the back 3, Maxence Lacroix. As you can see on the screen, he won 11 duels, most in the game. 32 out of 40 passing, 59 touches, 8 clearances, 5 recoveries, 4 out of 6 ground duels, 7 out of 9 aerial duels, 1. Versus Chris Wood, he was very, very, very good. He limited Wood to that a shot that he had wide, and again the shot that he had that Henderson saved. But I thought Lacroix was very, very good. Because predominantly it was Wood versus Lacroix. There were times when Wood was smart and went over to Gahey's side, but for the most part it was Lacroix, and Wood didn't have a sniff really. But your thoughts on Lacroix's performance yesterday?
Yeah, it was a very, very good performance. He is a monster in duels in general, and he's got that calm persona as well. Sometimes when there's those big duels in the middle of the park, I think there was a little Cruyff turn he done in the first half, which was really nice. He's a man monster at the back, and I, f- I see Palace and Forest. If there's when we're talking styles, probably the most two alike team in the league. I think in terms of like maybe not formations, but like the fact
Go
they've got
ahead.
really solid defense.
Right,
Milenkovic and Murillo, big man up top that
right.
try pace on transitions.
Solid goalkeepers.
Both teams were in mid blocks when the
Yep,
other had the ball. It
yep.
was both didn't want to give up transitions, but also look vulnerable in transition.
In transition, yeah.
Yeah, but two good tactical managers. I think Glasner's better than Nuno, but I just think Nuno's been given the squad to work with. But yeah, I think Lacroix versus Wood. It's always a tough game. You know me, Wood. I don't like Chris Wood. I respect him as a player, but he's just one of those. He gets on my nerves because
Yeah, yeah.
he's not. He shouldn't be good, but he's good
Yeah, it's mad.
because he's
Yeah,
such a nuisance and he's technically sound and he's got an eye for goal. Um, yeah, I just think Lacroix kept him as quiet as he could have. But yeah,
as you
he's
can.
so dominant in the air and he's great at hold up play. And I think he's 35 years old. So, like, as much as I don't like him, I respect Wood as a
You
as a
have to.
player.
Yeah, you have to, yeah. Because again, he overperformed
Yeah.
XG every season, which is a little crazy, but yeah.
Yeah. Did you see
Yeah,
his little stat that he had?
what's that?
Since Nuno come in, most non-penalty goals and the best conversion rate in the league.
Conversion rate?
Both.
That but that can't keep up, can it? I mean, as a Forest fan, you want it to, but I don't know how that keeps
Yeah.
up. But
But
those
they've
stats
got
are
that.
crazy.
The guy that came on looked quite sharp, didn't he?
And
Jesus.
he's more of a he plays more down the middle than he plays wide, but that's Nuno wants another. But again, I'm not
Mm,
talking about Forest have
mm,
quite a few options up front. I'm very, very jealous.
mm.
Chris Richards, both gave him 8. You go first. How do you think Richards performed against Forest?
I think he was very good. Just I would say Gahey and Lacroix were just a little bit better. As much as I'm not this whole new long throw thing, I do think it's a weapon, and I do like the fact that he can get it in there. But I
Yeah,
think he's really solid. I think he really helped Munoz in the first half with Hudson Odoi doubling up, covering, great at set pieces. He had quite a quiet day, but as I say, if your centre back has a quiet day, it's not the worst situation.
yeah. Yeah, funny you mentioned that because one of my comments about Hudson-Odoi was I thought he did a really good job of pressing Hudson-Odoi in the first half, and it was very effective, which is why I think another reason why they might have switched sides.
Mm,
And also, you mentioned that goal before. He actually tried to press Ndoye on that pass. Unfortunately, he didn't get there quite in time. That's why Ndoye they make that pass for the goal.
mm.
So, but stats wise, 30 out of 39 passing, 4 clearances, 2 interceptions, 2 recoveries, 2 out of 3 aerial duels. Again, he just solid, man. It's really funny, man. People talked about when he first came, he couldn't play center back. He put him at right back. He's better on the left, he's better on the right, but he has been seriously. You talk about Lacroix and Gahey. Of the three, he's the most underrated, but he's just been solid the entire time. I got to give big up to I'm a big Richards fan. Man of the match for both of us. Will Hughes, 8 from me, 8.5 from you. I'll go first. I thought he was very, very good in midfield. Anderson, uh, to me, he's a
Oh,
solid midfielder.
that's
Solid.
that's a modern day
Yeah.
James MacArthur.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
James. That's a level. That's James MacArthur at his
Point.
peak.
Yeah, I agree. 4 tackles for Hughes, most in the match for Palace. Created 3 chances going forward, 30 out of 36 passing, 2 accurate crosses, 5 out of 8 ground duels, got a yellow card. I just thought just all over. He just was the only thing I need Hughes to do is become a better shooter because his shooting is really bad. He's getting
Yeah,
opportunities now, and I think even Glass has been saying that. Yes, we've lost Eze, so we need to get goals from other places, and midfield has to be that place because we're getting it from our wide players, we're getting it from our striker, we're getting it from some of our defenders. We're not getting anything from Wharton
yeah,
or Hughes. But that aside, and again, you know how much that Derby on the Forest is a big rivalry. So he's winding up the fans with tackles and the yellow card. I thought Hughes played really well yesterday, but your thoughts?
yeah. No, exactly the same. I also he's a commander in there. Like he is the one talking every time. Obviously on Sky Sports, you see a little bit more like when the camera pans in, and when he got that yellow card, which by the way was a brilliant yellow card again.
It was again.
He was shouting at Chris Richards for not engaging, and he obviously commands the respect of the whole squad. Yeah, listen, man, the match for me. He's just like a terrier in there. Like he's probably the most. I know I said Anderson's like MacArthur. He's probably the most like MacArthur player that we've got. And
We have, yeah.
Yeah, and he's. I don't even think he's underrated anymore. I don't think he's underrated. I think we all rate him really highly, and I would love us to get one more midfielder in there just to give him more rotation. So
yeah,
he's not running to the ground, and we can get the most out of him.
Yeah.
So some games he has a rest. Some games he just goes all hell for leather for 50, 60 minutes. Then you can rest him the next game, and then you might have a cut. There's, like you said, different horses for courses. There might be a game where we need an absolute rattler in there, but there might be a game, and he's doing what he's doing. But then the next game we might need something else, and I don't want him to have to play every single game after game.
Yeah. Next, Adam Wharton, 7.5 from both of us. Your thoughts on Wharton versus Forest?
I thought in the first half he was probably his progressive passing was the way that we were going to score. The ability to play the ball first time is just ridiculous. The round the corners, just when the receiving with his back to goal in the middle of the pitch. I told you it's probably the hardest thing in the Premier League to do, apart from scoring a goal, is being able to receive the ball back to goal in the middle of the park and keep it moving and make it look so effortless, right and left foot. Again, I think he ran himself into the ground. He's the one that come off instead of Hughes. In the second half, he faded a little bit, but again, he just needs some more help in there.
Yeah, you talk about progressive passing. He had 8 passes to the final third, the most by a Palace player. 34 out of 43 passing overall. 1 out of 1 tackles, 1, 6 recoveries, 2 out of 4 ground duels, 1. I thought he played well. Obviously, on the goal, he makes like he did against Villa, the pass to Munoz out wide for the cross for the goal for Sarr. He's the one that makes the free kick. I talk about the gay he missed. He took the free kick that got to the back post for the gay he had us. So he could have had an assist there. But again, the only thing we're missing from him and Hughes will be goals. But as far as the way they play together, but again, one makes everyone look good. He battled in there. The comms over here were talking very much about Tuchel being in the stands and how he probably was looking at both Anderson and Wharton in midfield and that kind of battle. So that was interesting. But no, I thought Wharton played really well yesterday. So let's get to Justin Devaney. I gave him a 5. You gave him a 4. I think the biggest issue with Justin Devaney is that, well, first, the obvious statement, he's not Ebere Eze, and people are going to be looking at him in that way, which I think is ridiculous. Also, he looked a little nervous yesterday. What I think the man just sees in him is that he understands how he needed him to play. He'll drop into that midfield. He pressed Aina when he needed to. He understands those kind of triggers. But what he cannot do, he can't be a player one-on-one. He's obviously more of a central midfielder. He had an opportunity to score on that header. I thought early in the game, there was the 3rd-minute chance when he got a great ball. I think it was a great ball. I think it was Mitchell, Saw Mitchell got the ball to him wide. He had an option. Do I shoot? Do I cross? I personally think he should have shot because of the angle. Right, he tried to get the ball to Mateta. It was intercepted. After that,
could have cut back to Munoz as well. Munoz
or even that, right? After that, you just kind of saw he gave the ball away a few just easy balls that he really shouldn't have given away. I think he's definitely better off coming on as a sub, either as that 10 late to kind of press and run, or in the center midfield position where he's got more time, more space. He's not a 10, and he's left-footed too. For balance wise, I'd probably prefer a right foot that could cut in. But the technical abilities up there, the speeds up there, the cut balls that played over the top that he couldn't reach. He's not a quick player. I felt bad for him. I really did. Stats wise, real quick, for Devaney, 17 out of 24 passing, 71%. He had 1 shot again that was on target, 33 touches, dispossessed of the ball 3 times. Touches in the box, he had 4. Defensively, 6 recoveries, 2 out of 2 tackles. So he worked hard. 3 out of 10 duels. One again, he lost 7 duels. He's just not strong enough in the tackle. But I feel really bad that our fan base is getting on him already because I like him, but he's just not. He's not the replacement for Eze. So if we put him in the right spots, but I do see why he's been played. But I see now why we might have a chance to play someone else. We'll get to that later on in Eze. But your thoughts on Devaney?
Yeah, no, me personally, like Deveni is a good player. I generally think the level we are with the players we have and the manager, he should be on the bench, but he shouldn't. I don't think he should be getting minutes. Like if we're being honest, if we get the play, if everyone was fit and we had the signings we needed, he would struggle to get on the bench for me. But he is a great player off the ball. I don't want to kill him. I thought he was extremely out of his depth yesterday. Even for the fact of the confidence, I watched him and it looked like he felt like he didn't belong there. That's how he was playing with that inner fear a bit. I think it's different when you're coming on the pitch
Right.
because it's like you can analyze the game. You can see
The
how the
mindset's
game's
different. Yeah,
going.
the mindset's
You
different.
can
Yeah, yeah.
you can watch. So like if you're a good sub, you analyze you don't sulk. You look at exactly what's going on and you look, oh, this is happening here. I can affect that. All I have to do is this and that. But when you're starting from the beginning, it's a completely different thing. And just the first 3 minutes, I probably think the fact that he wasted that opportunity, and obviously we knew it was going to be a game of not that many clear-cut chances.
Going,
That's
going
just
ahead a bit.
brought him
Yeah,
down straight away. Um, yeah, I don't want to kill him. I just think he's completely out of his depth, especially playing in the 10 role. I even think he's nowhere near good enough to play in the double pivot. That's not me trashing him as a player or a person. I love what he's done for Palace, how he's broken through. He's got the trust of the manager. And it's the fact that the manager's picking him over other people shows his attitude and his willingness to work for the team. But I also just don't think he's good enough.
So I'm not gonna. I disagree with the comment, and you're right. It's okay if you say completely out of his depth. I don't agree with that because again, he only had 4 starts last year, and now he's started 2 matches back to back.
Mm.
He just not started. I think he can play, and again, for me, and it's a moment in time. But that penalty in the Community Shield was taken so well. That's a player who, to me, can. I know it's a penalty. It's different, but I'm just saying. I think the mindset. I think you're right about that play early. Kind of rattled him, and again, he started giving balls away, and I think the crowd might have gone on him, but I don't think that. I think he can definitely contribute in ways, but you got to pick his spots. And again, for me, if Glazer thinks he's good enough, because again, there are a lot of other players in that
Yeah,
academy that haven't gotten that shot, and he
yeah.
has. So
No, I think there's a place for him to come on maximum 10 minutes, 15 minutes in certain games. But I'm just talking for the level that I think we have the potential to be at. His minutes shouldn't be there.
I hear that.
That's what. But I don't kill him. I have a lot of respect for Deveni. I loved his breakthrough season last season. He won us the Community Shield with that penalty. I've got a lot of respect for him, and it's like it's not bad to be not at the level of what I think this team is, because I generally think this team is one of the best in Europe when it has its best 11. When obviously when Eze's gone now, but if we replace and replenish the squad, but like if we're talking Decore's back, Kamada's back, other midfielders, I just don't see a place for him. But it's hard because I don't want to sound like I'm killing him. I just where I want to be and where I think this team is, I think he should have minimal minutes. But it's good to have a homegrown player in and around the squad, and obviously he can contribute to some
And
extent.
I'll end it on this. In the past, we've had, and again, there's not put down on these players. We've had players like Jeffrey Schlupp, Joel Ward, Nathaniel Klein in and around the squad, and I'd rather have a younger player like this than that. But again, that's not put that on those guys. I'm just saying. So let's move on to Ismaila Sarr. 7 from me, 7.5 from you. Your thoughts on Sarr?
Yeah, no. Great goal. Like I said it earlier on, I thought like he had a few loose touches. I think it's good that he got his goal after. I think it was a bit of a woeful performance against Fredrikstad. Again, there wasn't really any space in behind there because it was such a low block. But yeah, he wasn't really in the game that much. So he won a few good free kicks. But the main thing is he scored the goal. And to me, if you score a goal in the Premier League and you get a point or you get 3 points, you're a 6, 7 out of 10 minimum for me, because scoring goals in the Premier League is so tough.
Yeah. He only had 31 touches, the least amount of any outfield player that played the entire match. It shows you he wasn't involved. 10 out of 15 accurate passes wasn't on the ball. But again, the goal was very well taken. He tried to be an outlet for Palace because, again, without Ep on the other side, he has to be right now the primary outlet. And the goal was very well taken. Good movement by him, good cross by Munoz to get him. But again, it's going to be a little pressure on him from now on, unfortunately, because again, without Evans on the other side, it's him and Mateta getting most of the goals, and I don't know, if that's going to be great for us. But I think he worked really hard. 3 out of 8 ground duels defensively, one again, and at the end of the game, he almost won the game. Remember the penalty kick? He goes down, and it was the offside, but that could have won us the game. So I thought he had a really good game. Others didn't, but he could have been more involved. But I understand why he wasn't. Again, I'm sure Forge focused on him because they're like, why not, right? So speaking of getting focused on, Jean-Philippe Mateta, 6.5 from me, 6 from you. I just thought that he just had a really hard time with the physicality of Milinkovic and Murillo. I think they focused on him. They fouled him a lot. And he just couldn't get involved in the game. He's only 6 out of 10 passing. Played 88 minutes. He had 17 touches, which would have been the least amount had he played the entire match. He was just negated by Forest. They knew what to do. He did have a good shot that was well saved in the 28th minute, but he just couldn't get into that game. He just wasn't, again, not having that person on the left side to give him opportunities. It's going to be hard for JP. But your thoughts on JP?
Well, you saw how tired he was when he came off. He was wrecked.
It wasn't from lack of work. He ran his off, but he just couldn't.
Yeah, I think Murillo and Milinkovic are probably stylistically, again, it's the same for Wood. Wood, probably the last players he wants to play against is you go against Richards, great in the air, physical. Lacroix, bigger than you, quicker than you. Gahey, more intelligent. It's the same as Mateta. Again, that's why we cancelled each other out. In the Premier League, like we said, scoring goals is the hardest thing. He had his opportunity. He had the opportunity in the first half, a bit like the Chelsea one as well. Exactly the same situation. He's not. There's that part of the season sometimes where he hits them and they just go in and in and in. They're not going in the corner enough. They're a bit. I don't think he's making the keeper work hard enough. I think Sanchez was an easy save, and it was a bit of the same edge of the box. 18 yards out, free shot at goal. I think you've really got to be working. The keeper's got to make an unbelievable save to keep it out. And I just think it was a bit of a weak shot. Other than that, he huffed and puffed, but it's a tough game. But he got his goal against Fredrikstad, which was at least he's off the mark there, and he scored in the Community Shield. So I'm not worried. I just felt stylistically it was tough for him today.
Tough for him, yeah. As it was, remember last year at it was similar. So. But go to the subs now. So Edouard came on. There's nothing, but I did think it was important that he, as little time as it was, that he gave Mateta that break because he needed it. Lerma again came on late, kind of put in a good shift again. I think it was important that he came on and gave Wharton that break, but it really wasn't much that he did. But we'll go to the one sub that we thought both had an impact, and that's Romain Esse. 7 from me, 7.5 from you. I'll go first. First, I'm really glad going to the game. Because I was getting generally worried as to why we would spend that kind of money on a player who I think is technically very good and the manager not see that. And I respect the manager. Listen, if the manager's not playing you, there's a reason why. But you mentioned before about, he came in right away, he had 15 touches, 5 out of 7 passing. He was, the word I used on my paper, I wrote down, he was lively. He tried to connect with Mitchell on that side and get involved. There was a play where ended up being a foul ultimately, but down the left where Lacroix and he tried to get ball in the cross, it was blocked. He ran at them. He had a nice little move where he spun on the right side, was linking up with, I guess it was Munoz or someone on the right side, but he was lively. I like what I saw. Does he start the next game? Probably not, but he's got to get more minutes now. So I really like what I saw at Esse, and again, we have to utilize this player because he's got that flair that we lack with Eze gone. He's again, but I'm not trying to say he's Eze, but he's the kind of player that we're going to need. But your thoughts on Esse?
Yeah, no, my biggest thing was his reaction after Fredrikstad, because it's a sink or swim moment. I think maybe Glasner done it. I don't know. That's just me clutching at straws, but he seems the type of manager to want to see a reaction, and it's so easy to mope, get your head down. He's on a 5-year contract, so there's that thing where, not that he would wait it out, but it's like you could be just frustrated and take it out in a different way. And to me, he looked hungry when he came on.
He did.
He looked
Point to make.
defensively. He looked, yeah. But the biggest thing with him is going to be off the ball. Can you get in the structure? That's what Glasner spoke about. Can you set pieces? Are you picking up your man? Are you in the right positions in the defensive structure? And I think that was a really good pass to Sarr, where Sarr should have done better as well, where he got it on the half turn and he played it. And again, that's where I say Sarr lets himself down a bit when he's in those 1v1 positions. Right. And that's probably where we're lacking. We probably wanted Esse in that position, where Sarr received. Again, he's playing on the left as well. I think he's more a right-sided player.
He's better on the right.
On his left. Yeah, I think he'll be better on the right. But I also don't think Sarr is better on the left because he's not really a cutting type of person. But it might work the other way around. I'm just really glad that he had a positive. He came on and it looked positive. And it was good because we lost the flair in Eze and it kind of showed.
We need it.
Like he came on and he was like, oh, maybe Palace have got another one here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just gave that little bit of maybe the plan of signing a player like Esse is going to work in the long term. Right. And I'll be honest, if Glasner can work his magic on him, there's no better manager to start his progression. I just really hope. I hope he starts on Thursday against Fredrikstad.
Really?
I would like him to start because I think we'd probably need Kamada more at Villa away. I'd probably maybe think Kamada's coming back from injury, maybe play Esse to start and then bring on Kamada. Maybe give Esse 50, 60 minutes. I'm a big believer in earning your right to play, and I think that cameo kind of maybe earned him. But maybe it's a massive game.
That's my thought. I think because we're only 1-0 up and we need to be defensively solid, and that's the thing I think he's the weakest at. I think he'll better off coming on late and kind of when they're maybe pressing up and as opposed to. But let's see what the manager does.
Yeah, I just really hope this is the kicking on moment. I kind of think maybe that goal on the first game of maybe hindered him a bit, maybe in the long run, right? Because it gave maybe a false sense of where he was. Do you know what I mean? But I'm really happy with Esse. I think physically he looks ready in terms of strength-wise, speed. You know, sometimes you look at these players and you think you might not be ready physically, but he can go past. I think the biggest thing in the Premier League when you're a young player, if you can go past people, you're halfway there. If you can beat people 1v1, and he looks like that's what he can do.
But depending on the manager, though, you have to be able to do it both ways. The funny thing is, he even made that comment about Eze. You know, if you listen to the post-match, he even said there were things that Eze didn't do as well. And you absolutely know it was one, holding, not being as direct as far as like he sometimes stop and turn back. And then obviously the second thing was obviously defensively. So yeah. Anyway, speaking of the manager, 8.5 from me, 9 from you, not the usual 10. So I'll let you go first, Lou. Why'd you give Glasner a 9?
Why do I give Glasner a 9?
No, your thoughts on that. Yeah.
I think maybe we could have brought on subs a little bit earlier. Just maybe been a bit more. I know the situation, but when they're bringing on so many players with such fresh legs, it might have just needed a little bit more of a refresh. That's probably it.
Yeah, and for me, I get the lineup, but I didn't get the bench. I know he's making a point with the 2 keepers, but there has to be a player you could have put on that bench. If I know Ahmed's out of form, but last year Agbenoni was on the bench against Forest. Remember, and he came on and he played Friday. He could have been on the bench for Sunday. I'm not saying he gets in the game. I just don't like. I mean, Hodgson did it a lot. I hate the 2 keepers. I get it. You're making a point to the board. They weren't good enough. That bothered me. But I thought he made really good adjustments moving through the first half that helped us took the lead. I thought, getting that point was important. And again, my only other thing was why not Esse more often? You know what I mean? But again, you brought him on. The kid did a good job, and hopefully he'll get more opportunities going forward.
Yeah, actually, the one thing I think why they sometimes also put 2, because obviously you get in your contract you get quite good bonuses if you're on the bench.
Yeah, Remy Matthews gets money, great. Right.
Yes. So I'm just saying it might be a reward to Remy.
No, I do get that part. You know my point. Though. I mean, put a Candy kid on that bench. I mean, he came money from the bench yesterday. So
yeah, if he knows Remy is going to get this amount, and he might think Remy's work is worth
that's
him getting
fair,
on the bench.
that's an excellent point.
That's probably what I think. Just because the work Remy does around the club and whatever, he might get an extra $5,000 if he's on the bench, and he might not want to give the extra 5-10 grand to a youth player.
Totally get that. And that's it for the player ratings. We will be back for a Fredrikstad preview. Lou, it will be going to the match. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to work out how I want to do a vlog. I want to do a vlog because I'm the only one going.
Right.
It's a lot of filming. But I think I have to do a vlog, really, haven't I?
You have to at least try it. Yeah, if it works out. Yeah. So look forward to that. There'll be a preview for that. Play ratings possibly. I'm not sure about that. Friday's going to be a tough, but we'll see. But anyway, that's it for the play ratings for Forest. From Lou and I. Thank you for watching, and up the Palace.